There we go. Hello, 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 everybody. How are you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I noticed that during the opening, there seemed to be some glitches. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if it's because we have rain going on here in PA right now or what the deal is. So hopefully the rest of the broadcast will be going well. I see so many people in right now. We have Liliana. We've got Sean from Necro Chatter. What's up, my buddy? And again, Sean, shout out to you, buddy. Sean has been doing work with the local police department with the Necrophonic app on some really cool cases. And if that's something that you definitely want to know more about, if you want to hear his story about it, switch over to his, well, not now, but go over to his channel and check him out. He's doing some really cool stuff with that. We have, I live a very pink life. I love that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have Canada in. Who else do we have? We have Carol in. We've got John, Outlaw Warrior. Who else do we have? We have a lot of people. Lindsay, by the way, congratulations to you. I just got a message from Patreon saying that you are going to be receiving some Saving Ghost gear, my dear. So congrats to you for that. Canada, I'm so happy to see that you are back with us, at least for tonight. Love having you here. Thank you so much for popping in. And Squirrel Nuts, absolutely love that name. And yeah, you popped in right from the beginning. So happy to have you here as always. Canada's saying it's got Sundays off, so fantastic. Good, good, good. Yeah, guys, tonight's going to be interesting. I'm actually really excited about it. I did, and I'll go into some more detail here in a little bit. We have some more folks who are coming in, and I want to make sure that we have at least a decent amount in before we can really get going, because tonight's going to be fun. Okay, and Lindsay's saying that she received the email. Woohoo! All right, fantastic. So what we're going to be doing tonight, gang, I did a test of this and sent a message, sent a video copy of it to both Patreon members and the YouTube subscribers. And so they kind of got a glimpse as to what's going to be going on, but tonight's going to be a heavier version of it. Carol, what's going on, my dear? Happy to have you. Always happy to have you. Brat. What? We got Lindsay here. Okay, so Lindsay's asking, do you have any videos that talk about how your equipment is used and how it communicates with the ghost? And do you use apps? Yes, I do have those videos. In fact, tonight, you're really in for a great night tonight, Lindsay, because we're going to be going over some of the equipment tonight. And as far as the apps that I use, I have three main ones that I pretty much use. I use the Necrophonic app. I've been using the HSB1 app because I've been getting some good responses out of that. And the Afterlight box was the first one that I really started using and got some good results out of. So those are ones that I would highly recommend. And of course, scanning radios. I absolutely love my scanning radios. Monica, happy to have you here. And we've got Brat in the house, who is definitely doing some Saving Ghosts support. I appreciate that. Thank you, Brat. We've got the Mancinos in the house. April, what's going on? Well, I'm happy that, Monica, I'm happy that I am in good company then. We've got Raphael, who is the prankster, and as much as he's a prankster, he also is the heart of a lot of these ideas. He knows that I have an interest in science. He has an interest in science. He's studying electrical engineering at the moment, and so he has some just fantastic ideas. I have the overreaching idea of what I want to achieve, and he will start saying, hey, here's some possibilities of how that could be done. And so it's just a really, really good collaboration there. Canada, I am sorry, God, to hear that. I'm happy to see that you're okay, though. Yeah, it sounds like you're driving in Vegas traffic. We've got Donna in. Miss Lawrence, how are you? Thank you so much for popping in. Lindsay, I've always been a critic and a non-believer. You're the first one I've actually ever had a good feeling about and decided to listen to a couple of times. I'm definitely interested and hopeful. Lindsay, anytime that you have a question about my theories and why I have those theories, please feel free to reach out to me. I tried to be as transparent and as open as possible. And actually, guys, tonight is going to be a pretty daring night because I'm going to be doing an experiment live in front of you. And either it's going to work or it's not going to work. If it's not going to work, then that means that there are some parameters that I'll have to change. If it does work, then woohoo, fantastic. It just means we just keep going forward with what we are doing. We've got Billy Bones in the house. Of course, Billy Bones is not only a Patreon member and a Facebook group member, but is also a moderator. So Billy Bones, always happy to have you here. Let's see. Of course, we have Raphael. Looks like he's putting on some of his charms. Liliana is saying, not too fond of Texas drivers. I live in Houston. You know, Liliana, I did my basic training in San Antonio, Texas at Lackland Air Force Base. And the only experience I have with any drivers in Texas was the cab ride from the airport over to the area where the Air Force bus was waiting for us. So my experience with Texas drivers is fairly limited. I had to deal with Karen. Okay, you know what? The disease known as Karen is spreading everywhere. In fact, I think Karen is running more rampant than COVID-19. I don't even know if I can say that on YouTube or not, but I said it. So anyways, guys, so as is the norm, I'm going to be doing this live. I have a secondary camera that I've not turned on yet. I want to break down exactly what's going to be happening tonight, and I want to show you the equipment, and I want to show you how it is all set up. Okay, so before we get going on to that, I'm just curious, does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns that you want to throw at me before we really get going? I just apparently don't know where my mouth is, and I just drooled all over the place. Slightly gross. Lindsay, you are more than welcome to toss a few questions my way. I'm sure if you have questions, there are some other folks here who might have similar questions. So by all means, feel free. Ilya, what's going on? Of course, I know Ilya from my time living in Las Vegas. We actually went to school together many years ago. We were both in band class. Oh, and also, guys, I want to comment real quick on the last video that I put out. Apparently, there were a few people who were slightly offended by it. And, you know, we lost a few subscribers, which is okay. We gained a few as well. And the idea of the video was not to try to smear someone's name through the mud. What it was an attempt to do is my request to the viewing audience to be perhaps just a little more inquisitive when they're watching the videos, even my videos, you know, because there are some things that that are done, especially on YouTube, that are honest, that are sincere, that are actually trying to understand, you know, the life after death. And then there are others who are, I think, out of the gate trying to monopolize on that, then I think there are also others who might have had really good intentions when they started, and as time went on, just needed to find ways to keep the channel fresh. So that video that I made was just an attempt to ask you, the viewer, you know, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask us questions, and I guess that's all I'll say about that. Canada is asking, where is the monster at? Oh, no monster today. I had 2 Mountain Dews, and yeah, that's going to kind of put me over the edge. Okay, so Lindsay has a question. Well, my first one may be a bit personal, and so if you do not have to answer, do you believe in God? I just wonder how this all fits. That's where I get stuck, Tia. I struggled with that for years because I grew up in a Christian-based household. My stepdad was hardcore, Pentecostal, and then my grandmother, God bless her, who lived right next door to us, was Southern Baptist. So the environment that I grew up in was heavily Christian-based. And so, yeah, so I grew up, that God is an angry God and a jealous God, and you have to worship. And that's where my initial questions came in. Well, you're remember, I'm about 5 at this time, 5, 6 years old. And so you're telling me that God is angry, is jealous. You also say that anger and jealousy is of the devil, but you're saying that because it's God, it's okay. And I have to love unconditionally and worship this person unconditionally, even though they're angry and jealous. So I had a lot of questions. There were things that I just did not understand. Keep in mind, this comes from the mind of a 6-year-old. And so it wasn't until I read a book by Deepak Chopra, who I absolutely love. And it was a book about what is God? Who is God? How do we have a relationship with God? And in that book, he says that, so many of us are taught that God is an overpowering male, and that if we grow up in a household where our dads or our stepdads or whatever the male figure is in our life is maybe abusive or overpowering, we're not going to have a good relationship with God. And God can be many things. God is an artist. God is a friend. God is a teacher. God is a creator. And so you can choose, and this is what I liked about this book, you can choose what kind of relationship you choose to have with God. So do I believe in a God? I do. Do I necessarily believe that it is the figure that we are taught in Sunday school? I have expanded my thought as to who and what God is at this point. I no longer feel it is a Zeus type character sitting on a throne. And I know that there are some people out there who maybe won't really care for that reasoning of mine, but it's my reasoning and it's what works for me. So I don't know if that answers your question, but hopefully it does to some degree. Let me see. Who else do we have? So Liliana, is there a way a person can make an affordable portal box? Yes, there is. I made the video on it, and I will be showing that video on Thursday. The cost for you to build your own box is going to be right around $100, depending how far you want to go with it. But it's going to be right around $100. And so I will be posting that video on Thursday. And if you want another type of video that explains how to build a different type of box other than the one that I'm going to show, let me know, and I will do that video for you guys. Okay. Okay, so Canada is asking, have you tried Mountain Dew Baja Blast? Oh, yes, I have. And the first time I tried it, Canada, to me, if heaven had a taste, it would be Baja Blast. That's all I'm going to say about that. So Lindsay is saying, I remember somewhere in the Bible, Jesus actually mentioned ghosts by telling a disciple he wasn't a ghost, if I remember right. Could be wrong. I just always heard you go up or down. And that's how I was raised as well. There's a couple passages in the Bible where, and this is going to create so much controversy for people who watch this later on, I know. but there are some passages in the Bible where Jesus does speak to spirits in front of his disciples, and that's a whole other video. And that's that's a pretty deep conversation that I don't mind getting into. I don't think tonight is that night, but I can definitely get into that conversation. Now, just because I have said that, I want to say it doesn't mean that I don't believe. My belief just might be different than what people are traditionally taught. And that's all. Lindsay, you are great. You are great. Not an issue at all. It's because I grew up in that type of environment that I had questions and I didn't really seem to have answers that were coming to me, and so I felt like I had to search outside of the norm, and I'm happy that I did. And Lindsay, you are more than welcome to contact me anytime. I do have an email address. It's savingghosts@gmail.com. So you're more than welcome to send me an email there. And frankly, by the way, speaking of that, guys, I noticed that a lot of you, and Carol, you are one actually, have been sending me emails in regards to EVPs and videos. And I thank you so much for that. That is absolutely phenomenal. I love it when people stop watching and just believing what they watch and they start doing things themselves. I think it's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so Outlaw is saying, hey, Phil, I've recently started being around my dad when he's using necrophonic, and it has been scary. Do you have any tips on what type of mindset to bring to the table when I'm with my dad? Wow. Well, that's going to depend on what kind of relationship you have with your dad. If and that's something that we don't have to get into publicly tonight, but if you happen to have a fairly strained relationship with your dad, then what I would suggest is try to get yourself into a place where no matter what happens, you are okay. That's why I believe in meditation. I think meditation is fantastic. Get yourself into a position mindset wise where you are okay and you can't be harmed, and that your thoughts will always be kind. I highly believe, like I said, in meditation as well as prayer before a session. And I would be curious to know what your sessions are like when he's not around compared to when he is around. And if you see a difference, then, perhaps there's a way that you can gauge then what's, really happening. Let me see. Who else do we have here? Oh, wait. Oh, okay. So we have Outlaw Warrior Junior and Senior. Are you guys pulling? Okay. All right. I see what's going on here. You guys are pulling a prank. Is that what this is? Because Outlaw Warrior Senior writes in, that's my son, Phil. so all I can say is that Papa Warrior has been nice to me. We've got Miss Gina Miller in the house. Gina Miller. Gina has been with me since absolutely day one. She is a moderator, both here as well as in the Facebook group. She's a member of Patreon, and I can't tell you how many coffee cups and Saving Ghost pillows and T-shirts and stickers she has. As a matter of fact, she was so sweet to show a picture of a Saving Ghost sticker that she has on the back of her vehicle. And she did this. Now, keep in mind, she lives in New Orleans, and she did this considering everything that New Orleans just went through with Ida. So, Gina, it is always a pleasure to have you here. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. The cranky barista is in the house. What's shaking? We're getting a lot of love for the Necrophonic app. And Gina has her comment about meditation. Oh, all right. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Gina, thank you so much. Who else do we have here? Melissa. Melissa from Kentucky. How are you? And Smith Street Skater. Mama Mancino, how are you? As a matter of fact, I wanted to give a public shout out to you tonight. So I received today a notebook with just pages full of places in the area that have supposed hauntings and that have, deep histories to them. And it was Smith Street Skater who had sent that to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much for that. Outlaw, I get it. There is actually a house not too far from where I live that I didn't know was even in existence until they cleared away all the shrubbery and the trees, and there's this abandoned house there. Now I went and kind of walked through the garage area, but it definitely has a vibe to it. And I got a hold of the realtor to say, hey, is this something that I would be able to photograph and film? I have filmmakers, insurance, so we're covered. Is this something that I'd be able to do? And I haven't heard word one yet from them. I would love to go there, but I don't want to go there without permission. And I don't really know who else to get a hold of for that. Melissa's saying it's pouring there as well. Yeah, we have some nasty rain coming in tonight. So, guys, there has been, in regards to the last video that I posted, there were some comments that came in that there was some concern that I was starting to go a little too scientific with the videos, and that some of the fun was being sucked out of it. In a way, those were not the exact words. I'm paraphrasing, but some of the fun was being sucked out of it because of going into a scientific route. Guys, I've always had an interest in science and going about this in a more scientific way. It's just right now in my life, in the growth of this channel, the pieces are just now starting to come together where I can actually start doing experiments properly for this. So while I am going to be doing experiments and I am going to be testing certain theories, please know that I'm still going to be doing the ITC sessions. I'm still going to be going out to some locations and filming out there as well and seeing what's going on as far as the paranormal goes. Oh, excuse me. Guys, I went to this place called Eaton Park tonight. They don't have these in Vegas. And I don't think I'll be going back there again. Eaton Park. Let me rephrase this. Denny's would be considered a 5-star restaurant, in my opinion, compared to Eaton Park. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Oh, wow. So Outlaw Senior is saying went to the Betsy Ross house. Oh, that is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. Canada is going to make apples with chocolate. That's phenomenal. I love it. Let's see. Lindsay is asking, do you reach out to loved ones for some of your audience, or do you just listen to whoever pops up randomly? It's a mixture of both. There are times that I will specifically announce sessions for anybody who's watching who wants to try to contact someone. Granted, I need to do more of that, so fault on mine. But I also reach out to whoever. If there's just any random spirit that wants to say hi, that's what's going to happen tonight, by the way. And then I have an interest in history, so I will try to reach out to historical figures. And occasionally, if there is a celebrity that that I feel like I have a connection with in one way or another, or I just feel bad for, then I will try to reach out to them. I really don't like to consider myself the ambulance chaser of ITC. And what I mean by that is, the moment a celebrity dies, you go in and start doing a session for them. That I don't do. Let's see, what do we have here? So Lindsay is saying, I've seen one of your more scientific videos. Oh, well, thank you so much, Lindsay. Tonight's going to be a good one. Carol is also agreeing. So, Carol, thank you so much. And Rafa, we clicked on Carol again. Sorry about that. There we go. Raphael, I know, has an absolute love in science. So it's going to be a mixture of everything, guys. And it's going to be a mixture of everything because I have a lot of different interests. And so sometimes it's going to be dependent on what I feel like doing. Other times, one of you will say something that will give me an idea. A lot of you have mentioned Harry Houdini. So Harry Houdini is someone that I'll be reaching out to because I have a fascination for him as well. Lewis, hello, 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 my friend. How are you? Let's see, who else do we have here? No, Sean, I was not putting putting that out there because of your video. Joetta, my dear, how are you? I actually did not expect you on tonight. Thank you so much for popping in, and my love to you, by the way. Now, I want to say something about Sean's. Sean, I watched one of your recent videos, and I have to admit, I died laughing throughout the entire thing. And I can't thank you enough for doing the video. Sean did this video in his car, and I forget what the title of the video is, but it's something to the effect of sometimes things just don't go right. And his facial expressions in this is hilarious because it's a video about how sometimes you just don't get responses. The reality of it is you can be doing a session for an hour. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could be doing a session for an hour, and try as you might, you will get nothing. You'll get something, you'll get excited about it, then it's a false positive, or it wasn't what you thought you heard. And he demonstrated that brilliantly on his channel. So Sean, shout out to you, buddy. So, all right, guys. So do you want, sorry. I had to move my ass. So did you guys want to get an idea of what's going on tonight? I'm doing this dramatic pause because I'm waiting for people to answer. Sean, I can't tell you how many times I've had no come through, or I've been called names, or you just hear the sound of a door shut. Yeah. Carol. So Melissa is asking, what do you think of Cody ITC Spirit Box with Gabby? Melissa, I don't know how to. I generally try to be fairly respectful of other YouTubers and how they do things, and regardless if I agree with their ways of doing things or not, because everybody has their own technique, and I get that. In regards to Cody, I do not know him. I've never met him. The only thing I know about him is that he uses the same type of guitar amplifier that Steve Huff started off with for his portal, which is fine. It puts out fantastic audio, so I understand. So he's in Canada. He uses the same amplifier, and he doesn't show his face. That's all I know about him. I have been doing, or at least working in the paranormal for the better part of 20, 25 years. And I have never, in all of my years, ever had the responses that come through the way that he claims that he does have. I believe that there's a science as to why those like Sean and Amitov from Amitov Paranormal and Voices from Beyond, Marie and Pierre, love those two, and so many others, why all of their responses sound the same and why Cody's sounds a little bit different. It's not because the boxes are magic. It's not because, there's a personal connection. What Sean does, what Marie and Pierre do, what Amitov does is, in my opinion, real. In my opinion, honest, because their results are the same across the board. And I think I will leave the answer to that. And, there's someone else that I want to give a shout out to who's not here right now, but every now and then she pops in. That is Sarah from Sarah Saving Spirits. She has been phenomenal. She has been a supporter of mine from day one. We don't talk a lot, but when we do, it's very friendly. And so for those of you who know Sarah, she's out in California, I believe, or who watch her channel, I just want to give a big shout out to her. I also want to give a shout out to, my buddy Frank from Franco TV Adventures, wonderful guy. And actually, Josh Lewis from Hope Paranormal has been very open with me. And we've been talking a little bit more lately. So, shout out to him as well. So Cranky is saying, hearing whispers in your mic, but I may just be imagining it. Well, you know what? I'm kind of hoping so. Here, got a question from Outlaw. Is it normal when you do this in certain areas to hear things from there, like Fort Mifflin? We heard cannons, or Ben Franklin area. We hear horses galloping. I think anything is possible, because remember, all audio is a frequency that's traveled on a wave. So it's energy. And as we know through thermodynamics, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only move on and change to different forms. So if we are to believe the stone tape theory, that an audio source that is created gets embedded into its surrounding areas, it's a possibility that it could. Raphael is saying, I hear giggles when I'm in the shower. Well, tell your wife to give you a little more respect, Raph. Okay, so apparently some of you are hearing whispers in here. Okay, so Liliana saying that, I'm assuming you mean Sarah. So guys, I'm happy that you're saying that you're hearing things, because for tonight, I am going to ask you to listen closely. I want to show you exactly what's going on. Now, there is a theory out there that says spirits can use the energy around them to manipulate and create words. Now, there have been times that I think any one of us who has ever worked with EVPs, that we have that we have picked up EVPs in the most random of places. And I remember when I decided to actually go public with this, when we started off on Amazon, the night vision cameras that I had were just these inexpensive $60 night vision cameras from Amazon that for night vision, they were good, but they were phenomenal in picking up EVPs. And I believe they were so good at picking up EVPs because they were not expensive cameras. There was a lot of internal noise that could be played with. And so what I want to do, so what I did, I'm sorry guys, I'm getting lost. I'm reading the comments that are coming in. So I built this device and I want to break it down for you. I want to show you how it works and I want to tell you what we're going to be doing with it. I built this device called the Willow Box. Now, a lot of you might remember when I first announced this. So the Willow Box, what it is a EM pump on top. And frankly, this particular EM pump is a CPU fan with rare earth magnets that are on top. And if you spin those magnets at a high rate, it produces EM energy. And so we have that portion of it. And then if we are to open it up, I don't know if I can turn this around or not, but if we open this up, then what we have inside is a mono amplifier. We have a small 2-inch subwoofer at the top. And then we also have a frequency generator that's inside. The whole idea of this box is to create wind, vibration, and tone, as well as EM energy. So with hopes that it will create an environment for a spirit to, again, manipulate that audio and try to form words. Now, anybody can build one of these. This box, I got this from Michael's, and I just painted it. So anybody can build one of these. But what I want to do, what we're going to be doing tonight. Okay, here, what do we got? We have some comments coming in. Angel, what's going on? How are you? See, we have Cranky Phil, but where are the magic crystals? I do not have any crystals attached to it or anything as of yet. But again, these are works in progress. I may add some down the road. Canada is asking, how is Buddy? He is at my feet right now, passed out asleep, and you might be able to see him here shortly. Oh, Cranky, Cranky, I get it. I get it. Okay. So let's go ahead and get the other camera going. So there's the other camera. It's a fuller view. So this is what's going to be, let me scoot over here a little bit. This is what's going to be kind of showing the behind the scenes, so to speak. So what I have here, just to show you guys, put this back over here. So I have 3 different microphones aimed at different points of the Willow Box. I have a stereo microphone right here that you will be able to hear from the moment I turn it on. Okay, so if you have your headsets on, you're going to be hearing the noise coming from the very top of the box. Okay, now this microphone right here is aimed at the bass port. Now the bass port is where the air will escape from the speaker. Now it may also pick up some of the electrical disturbance that's going on inside as a result of the magnet from the subwoofer, as well as the amplifier and the tone generator. And just to let you guys know, this microphone here is plugged into an old-fashioned tape recorder right here. So I'm going to be using audio tape, old school audio tape, in addition to the digital stuff. And I'm going to be sandwiching these audio sources together. This microphone here is a shotgun microphone that's aimed at the same direction, but it's more directional. It has a more narrow beam, I guess you could say. So it's going to pick up deeper into the box as compared to this one. So we have different microphones going on, and I'm going to be using, I don't know if you guys can hear this. So that is the tone. I'll be switching tone as we go through this to try to see what frequency works. This is sent to a sine wave, but I want to see what frequency will work. And I want to see if spirit can come through and actually manipulate all of the vibration and noise and wind that's coming through this. And let's see if we get anything. So I'm curious as to your thoughts on all of this. And just by the way, guys, when we actually start this, I'm going to be doing actual notations of this, because once this is done and once it's reviewed, I'm going to be writing a paper on this in regards to the findings. I will post it on the website, and I'm also going to be submitting it for publication in a few journals. And so this is an actual test. It's not just something that I am doing for YouTube. There's going to be follow through when this is done. Horror, what's going on, my dear? How are you? No, we're actually just now getting the party started. Let's see, what do we have here? Oh, very nice. Sean, that's awesome. You know, it's funny. This is the first tape recorder that I actually caught EVPs on as well. And this has been a good recorder. This is, for those of you who are interested in tape recorders, this is a Marantz tape recorder. It's a phenomenal tape recorder. Yes, I said... Yes, that is what I said. I've always had an issue with that word. I've never been able to pronounce it correctly. It always sounds like I'm calling someone a fairly inappropriate name. Lynn, what's going on? How are you? Oh, wait. What's this? What's this? It's your birthday? Well, happy birthday to you. See, Robert is saying, will you be marketing the device? If so, what do you call it? I call it the Willow Box right now. I'm actually stuck between marketing it and really just showing you guys how you can make your own. Because the more into this I get, the more I believe that you should really have your own take on these devices. Use this as a starting point, but then put your own twist on it. So guys, let me know what you would rather have. Hey, Rebecca, what's going on? Rebecca was the first one that was on tonight. So you guys had been mentioning a lot about the coconuts. And because coconuts are such an ongoing joke now for saving ghosts, I am going to be setting up I can't believe I just forgot the name of it, but it's a raffle. I'll just call it a raffle, to where at some point in the video, there's going to be a coconut, and you're going to have to identify where that coconut is at and what the timestamp is that you see the coconut, and whoever wins will get whatever it is I'm going to raffle off. Absolutely. Absolutely, Sean. I don't know how sober we're going to be when we're doing it, but absolutely. Because remember, coconut milk is the way. Do I see coconuts? Oh, you know what? We should totally come up with a Saving Ghost line of like coconut, you know, I don't know, hats, shirts, something. I don't know. Off his socks. Yeah, but my holy socks. Okay, so I'm curious, how many of you have like earbuds on or headsets on? I contacted them, by the way. Thank you for asking me. I contacted them. They are waiting to get the new shipments in. Okay, cool. So you guys have earbuds on. So what I want to do before we actually get this going, I am going to turn on this microphone. This is an Audio Technica stereo microphone that is aimed at the Willow box. I'm going to turn on the Willow box. I'm going to turn on the microphone. Let me know if you hear like a bass line, like, and I don't mean like, bass. I mean just like a hum. Hey Donna, how are you? Okay, so I have my headsets on too, so that I am hearing what you are hearing. Okay, so I'm going to turn up the volume on the tone just a little bit, okay? Okay, so you guys should be hearing a little something there. Yeah? Okay, awesome. So if you guys are ready, I'm going to do this. How am I going to do this? Let me turn. Oh, sorry, buddy. Let me turn this on real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Hey, Roxy, how are you? Roxy is saying that they can and don't have earphones. Well, perfect. Okay. Okay, so guys, if you are ready, we're going to go ahead and get this crack-a-lacking, all right? Okay, this is Philip Page. It is Sunday, October 3rd, 2021 at 7:50 p.m. First test using the Willow box with Audio Technica stereo microphone plugged in, aimed at the EM fan. Also have a Trackstar shotgun microphone plus 10 decibels, also aimed at the top of the EM pump. Tone is sent to a sine wave at the lowest frequency. Starting session now. Hello, hello. This is Philip. I mean no harm. I am asking Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, and David to please come here during this session to oversee this session. I welcome any spirits who might want to come through and use this device. We're going to be testing certain things, trying certain things, and I welcome any spirit who might want to come through and be a part of this and help us learn as this goes forward. So what I ask is if you can please use any of the vibration or the tone or the sound or the wind that is coming from this device right here. If you can please try to find a way to come in under that sound, under that noise, and use it to amplify and make words. I will be giving approximately 10-second pauses for responses. Are there any spirits here with me right now? Is there anybody who would like to come through and try to use this device to speak? Do you enjoy doing things like this? Do you enjoy coming in and trying to manipulate and play within this field to form words to where we can hear? Now, I feel like there maybe is a few or are a few in the area. 3 or 4. Am I correct in that number? Okay, we're going to be raising tone 25%, lowering volume. Hello, hello. This is Philip. How does this tone work for you? We're going to add in something different at this point. We're going to be adding in an audio tape recorder. Okay, tape recorder is starting at approximately 7:53 p.m. Starting tape recorder now. Tape recorder has started. If you're able to use any of these devices, I welcome you to come through and to use them. So when you leave your body, is the experience confusing for you? Who is there to greet you, or who greeted you when you left your body? Do you come here often when I do a session? Okay, we're raising tone to 50% at 7:55 p.m. Lowering volume. Again, I welcome you to come in and manipulate any of this audio. Mic check. Okay, mic is good. I didn't see anything moving. I apologize about that. When you've left your body, do you enjoy coming back and speaking to the living or interacting with the living? Raising tone, 75%. Now, there's not a whole lot I'll be able to hear from you right now, but if you do leave a message, if you do say something, once we review this, we'll be able to go through and hear you. Now, if you do try to leave a message, I'm going to ask, please try to gather your energy as much as possible so that we can actually hear a voice. If you come through soft and as a whisper, we very well may miss it. Now, there are some people who are saying that they think they hear some voices coming through. Can you confirm that? Are you indeed speaking through this? Raising tone 100% at 7:57 p.m. So vibration has increased. Lowering volume just a little bit. Okay, I thought I just heard something. Is there a male who came through? The timestamp approximately 7:57 when I thought I heard a male's voice. Is there any messages that you'd like to give us who are watching? Because we have several people who are watching right now. You know, if you do come through and say something, if we can capture you speaking through this, this will be an amazing find. Let me ask you this. Are you at peace? Are you happy? Do you need a prayer said for you? Okay, I do have a meter that is on the tape recorder. If you can feed something specifically into this device right here, this microphone, or even into this box right here, that meter may jump up. Okay, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for if you came through and if you did participate, if you did speak, I want to thank you for that. Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel David. I do ask that if there's any spirits or any souls who need help, who need education, who need guidance, to please assist them, if at all possible. If there are any who are ready and able to cross or to find that happiness, to find that light, I ask, please, if it's within their allowance, please allow that. I just heard a bass rumble. Did you guys hear any of that? I just heard like a low bass rumble. Again, I thank you for your time. I ask, please do not stay in this home. Please do not attach to me. Please do not attach to my dog. Please do not follow me. I ask, please return through the gateways and the doorways which you came. And I ask that my protectors and my guardians please ensure that those gateways and those doorways are closed. Until next time. Okay, and session is ending. It is 8:02 p.m. Turning down the tone and turning off the EM pump, stopping the tape recorder, and stopping the cell phone, which is acting as a recorder as well. Also note, 8:02 p.m. I am the only one in the house. There is the only options for contamination possibly could be my dog, who is laying at my feet, and I have a window behind me, but there's no traffic going on tonight on the road, sitting in an office in a residential area. So end of session, 8:03 p.m. Turn this microphone off. All right. So, okay. So guys, so now here, you know what? I'm curious about something. Give me one moment. So, okay, so here's what we have done, guys. Okay. We noted the time, we noted the location, we noted the date, we documented what equipment is being used. We had a control at the beginning of it, which was just the sound by itself before any questions started. And so what we'll be able to do is match that sound beforehand to the sound during the session. Now, if we can imagine that the bass sound, when I say bass, again, I don't mean like bass. I mean that static, stable sound that we first start off with, that is our control. And if we can imagine that as a wave, and I want to give a shout out to Raphael because he's actually the one who used this example. If we can imagine that sound as a wave and it's steady and it's the same all the time, if at any point that wave is disrupted, like someone throws a pebble in there, even though the wave is still there, that pebble is going to cause a momentary disruption. So what we're going to be looking for are disruptions in this. And we'll see what we find. Oh, wait. Here we go, guys. Okay, so I'll turn this back on real quick. Whoop. So just to show that we did actually record. If you're able to use any of these devices, So when you leave your body, is the experience confusing for you? Who is there to greet you? So, okay, so we do have the audio that's recorded on the tape recorder. So what I am going to do is I'm going to separate each one of these different audio sources. And by the way, guys, each one of these audio sources will be available for anybody to review should they want to. So I'm going to separate the audio sources, and then I am going to, for the edit on Sunday, they're all going to be married together because I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen between them being played separately and if they're married together, if maybe one will overlap with the other in some way. So, oh, oh Melissa, thank you so much. Oh, Melissa, it's my pleasure. Cranky. There's Cranky. Cranky, you have this recorder? This is a Marantz tape recorder. This is a really, really good. So who do we have? So Rebecca said, can't wait to see the results. You know, me either. Now, when I did this initially, like I said, it was a very last minute thing. I wanted to try it, and I only used one microphone. I didn't do three like I did this time. But I thought I had three very slight single word answers that came through. And I might include part of that in the edit on Sunday. Now, those who are part of Patreon and those who are part of the YouTube members, they've seen it. But I wanted to do it a little more involved, and I wanted to do it in front of all of you so you could all see what was going on. Yes, I did, my friend. Hey, Lewis. No, Lewis, it's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. You know, it's so okay. So what I'm going to be doing tonight is I'm going to be taking this audio, separating it, and I'm going to really just be going through the findings and jotting times down and what I think I am hearing. And I'll get the video put together for you guys to come out on Sunday. And then after that, I'm going to be working on the studies paper for this, and that will be posted on the website and then submitted for publication as well. So, guys, any questions, comments, or concerns? So it looks like we have a little bit of a dare thing going on between Raphael and Necrochatter. Raphael is trying to push Sean of Necrochatter to stay at the Conjuring House, at least the parking lot. Nah, Lewis, you're good, man. Seriously, you're good. If you want to catch up with this is going to be, it's going to be reposted. Yes, sir. Absolutely. All right, guys. So again, this was just going to be this experiment. So no apps are going to be used tonight. No scanning radios are going to be used tonight. It's simply to see if everything that you have heard, that I have heard, that I have said is actually true. And if we can get a few responses out of this, if it does happen, then that means that we're on to something. That means that we can then try to find a way to amplify this and hone this. And if it doesn't work, then, then it didn't work. Okay, so yeah, Melissa, I actually did see your request for that, and I know his story very, very well. And he is another one that I do have on my list of people to reach out to. So please know that I did see your request. I've not forgotten about it. It's I have a series of things that are usually lined up that I am usually wanting to do or get caught up on in regards to this. So please know that I did see it and that I will get that one done. Because yeah, he had an absolute love for bears, and he was fascinated by him. And unfortunately, just got a little too comfortable, I think. And he tried to save his girlfriend, but unfortunately, they both perished. Hey, Carol, thank you so much. You have a great night. All righty, guys. Hey, listen, I want to thank you all so much tonight. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for being a witness to this. Um, yeah, I'm actually excited to see what happens, and I will let all of you know. And like I said, all of this audio will be available separate. So if anybody at any time wants to hear just one of the audio sources or whatever, let me know. And because again, I've got nothing to hide. So, all right, guys. Hey, Chris. Yeah, you got kicked out of the way by Necrochatter. Chris, thank you so much. You have a great night, my friend. My love to the UK and to all those who have popped in. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye bye.